Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I am back with another video. Alright guys, so the dish that I am preparing with the project that the ladies have gone on for the holidays, I'm going to make a pecan pie, and I may make a sweet potato pie too, we'll just see. But for sure, I have my cup of pecans here, chopped pecans, deep dish pie crust, have a cup of sugar, a stick of salted butter, 3 eggs beaten, 1 cup of light Karo syrup. Now, normally I like to use a half a cup of dark and a half a cup of light, but I forgot to get the dark. And I'm going to use just a hint of almond in it. So let's just get this going. I'm going to go ahead and start melting the butter, then we'll add the sugar. It's a really simple recipe, so let's get it going. The oven is preheated to 350. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add the butter and let it melt, but you don't want it to brown or, cook. Then you'll add in the corn syrup and the sugar. And once that comes together, you'll add the beaten eggs, but you're going to have to temper the eggs and let this cool, because if you add it too soon, you will have cooked eggs. Okay, you don't want cooked eggs in your recipe, in your pecan pie. Okay, be right back. The butter is pretty much melted. Let's add our cup of sugar. Okay, add that to the butter and the syrup. Now I sprayed this little cup with some butter spray, so it'll pour out pretty smooth, and it's coming out fairly smooth there. Still gonna put this in there and get all of the excess out. You want all that goodness. Now we're going to let this come together, mix it up until everything dissolves. Then you will stir in your eggs. Now again, you want to make sure you bring the eggs to the temperature of your mix here. If not, you will have scrambled eggs in your pecan pie, and your holiday guests for Thanksgiving will be like, oh no, we're not coming back to Philly Field Spot again, not on Thanksgiving, honey. I don't want no scrambled eggs in my pecan pie. So just make sure you bring that together. All right, I'll be back. All right guys, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the eggs. It has come to the same temperature as the mix. As you can see, the eggs are not scrambling and cooking when I add them to the mixture. Now, also on my pie crust, I put foil paper around the edges, so when you bake it, the edges won't burn, and you'll take that off after about 30 minutes or so of baking, and then you'll let the edges brown on your pie crust as well. Because if you don't do that, you put your pie crust in there, your edges will be totally dark and burnt, and it'll cook before your pie, the inside of the pie, is actually done. Okay, it's just a little tip. I know a lot of people do it, but in case you've never heard of it, I thought I'd mention it. Okay, all right, we're gonna get ready to add our pecans to this, and then that's it. This is making a pecan pie. It's really simple: butter, eggs, pecans, and syrup and sugar. But you just have to make sure that you add these eggs at the right temperature, so you don't have white scrambled eggs running all through your mix. Now what I'm going to do is get the pecans and pour them in here and mix it well. And that'll be your pie crust mix. I have a deep dish crust, okay? This is a cup of pecans. You don't want to use too many pecans, because you don't want, people like that filling. When they cut the pecan pie, they like that mix. But it's up to you. If you want to have more pecans, do what you want to do. If you want to use walnuts or use any type of nut that you want, all right? But I'm using pecans. It is a pecan pie, after all. All right, I'll be back when it's time to pour this into the shell. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I almost forgot. I'm going to add just a hint of almond to it. Remember I said I was gonna add a little almond flavor? And just about a pinch of it. I just poured that in there. Just to give it a little hint of almond. Totally up to you. I think I'm gonna add a dab of vanilla too. Just a dab of vanilla. This is my pecan pie and I can do what I want. Okay, not a lot guys now, not a lot. I just want it to have a little flavor to it. And I can smell it, it smells good. All right, now we're going to move this over and pour this into the pie crust. I'll be back. Okay, there's the pie shell. You see I have the edges covered with foil paper. Now I'm going to pour the filling inside the pie crust. All right. We don't want it running everywhere now. I don't want it to run over I'm going to put this on a baking rack because I don't want this stuff to run down into my oven, and I'll be cleaning the oven for the next day because it has happened to me before. Yes, I had butter and sugar all over the bottom of my oven, and it was not a good feeling. Okay, I think I can. Okay, that's looking good, guys. Look at that. Put the rest of it in there. Don't want to overdo it. I think it'll all fit. All right. There we have it. We're going to put this in the oven that's preheated to 350, and we are going to let this bake for about an hour, okay? I will be back. I'll take the foil paper off after about 45 minutes or so. Okay guys, here's the pecan pie. Okay. I mean, it looks good to me. As long as it tastes good, your guests around your table will be happy, okay? Guys, so I will be making a sweet potato pie as well. So what I have here is 2 cups of sugar, and I'll use 1 stick of unsalted butter and a half a stick of margarine. Okay, and I have a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of ground cloves in here. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of lemon and a teaspoon of vanilla. I have 3 eggs beaten up, and I have my about 1.5 pounds of my sweet potatoes. I boiled them, I let them cool, I peeled them, and they are in the mixture. I'm going to take a fork and smush them down, and I'll add the butter. Pretty much you'll do that, and you'll add the butter and the sugar, combine it really well, and then you'll add the eggs. Then you're stirring your spices, and you just mix it well and pour it in the shell, okay? All right. Oh, I don't have the milk over here. We're going to use a half a cup of milk, all right? I will be back. Okay, I have my sweet potatoes peeled, and I've, sort of mashed them down. I will be using my mixer because I'm going to mix it, and the lighting may be a little dim, but you all don't need to see all of this. I'm just going to stir this up, beat this until all of those little stringy things are gone, okay? Then we'll pour it in the pie shell. I will cover my pie shell outer edges with foil so that the edges won't cook before the pie is actually done. I'm preheating the oven to 375 for the sweet potato pie, okay? Okay, I actually had enough for 2 pies with, I had 2 medium-sized potatoes and then like a smaller one. So it made enough for 2 with the ingredients, the amount of ingredients that I use. And I taste the filling, and it tastes so good. Okay, let's put these babies in the oven for 45 minutes at 375. Okay guys, here it is, the pecan pie and the sweet potato pie. These will be served on my table this Thanksgiving, and I'm sure my family will enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed watching me prepare these 2 dishes. Thank you.